Yeah, Miami's pretty good actually. Can't complain. It's better than Vegas, that's for sure.
What about your yeah, obviously your new setup there with the new trainer and everything? Does it seem to be working out for you? You feeling positive about it all?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely a different type of energy that I've felt in a long time. It's made me honestly fall back in love with the sport. The reason why I started it reminds me of when I was a 15-year-old coming back home from school and watching tapes and just studying the game and it's put me back to that mindset, you know. I think I've missed that feeling for such a long time. But yeah, I'm honestly just enjoying life here. Miami's pretty it's a pretty cool vibe. The first place I went was a bit different, but now settled in here, it's nice and homey and the weather's good. Can't complain. I got the right people around me. It's a good vibe.
And I understand that you might be making an announcement sometime soon about your next fight. Is there any sort of tidbits about that today?
I hopefully, man, fingers crossed we can secure something in the next couple of weeks and hopefully I'm able to fight by the end of the year or if it's next year.
Tim, what was it about Pedro that made sense for you to link up with him?
Um, well, I went to like I think it was five different trainers and all of these guys were like world class, honestly, and the history and every time I went to a coach, I was like, wow, this is the guy. Then the next one I was like, all right, this is the guy, this is the guy. And then as soon as I got to Pedro, I was like, this is the guy, you know. Um, his passion and knowledge and who he's worked with and just the way he does things, the Cuban boxing type style, and there's a lot of Soviet type of work. Yeah, it's just refreshing, you know. I'm doing a lot of stuff that I used to do as a child back when I used to watch my dad train, back when I used to see my dad and a lot of old school stuff and I've grown up with that type of stuff and unfortunately in the last couple of years I'd say I sort of went down a different path, more Western boxing, being tough, aggressive, strong. But it's made me realize that the sport's more not about it's a lot to do with skill, intelligence, and that's what Pedro's bringing out of me.
How much different do we think you might be in your next fight compared to what we've seen over the past couple of years?
Just a more look. I'm still the same old Tim. Like that's never going to change. But of course, a few little adjustments. A deeper fire burning inside of me. It's a whole different scenario now.
Tim, could you tell me a little bit more about your selection process, please? You said you spoke to this trainer, you spent time with this trainer, etc. What were you looking for at the very start?
I guess somewhere I feel comfortable. Somewhere someone that I could just click and bond. Someone that brings a passion. And as soon as I met Pedro, I was like, man, this is him. You know, this is the guy. It's honestly made me fall back in love with the sport. I've got a whole new desire for the sport now. It's a different feeling.
And can you please tell me the other trainers you worked with and where they were located? Because I think that's a really interesting insight into, I guess, into this new chapter in your career.
I went with a couple. I went with Rudy Hernandez. I went worked with him for a bit, and then I went to Abel Sanchez, Edmond from in LA, Los Angeles area, Big Bay area, and then I went to Boxer Gym. My mate owns the gym in here in Miami, so still do a bit with them. But yeah, I was looking more like a Mike Tyson, Cus D'Amato type of relationship, someone that you can look up to. Somewhere, sometimes when the fire is burning, you can get someone to ignite it back, you know, and that's who I got. And he's a real loyal, passionate, family type man, and that's exactly what I am as well. So we clicked straight away, and I'm glad where we're at now.
And can you please tell me a little bit more about how this is going to look for you? Because I know there was that time you were going to relocate to Vegas permanently, then
Yeah.
you decided you're going to stay in Australia. Will you just be in Miami while you're preparing for fights? Will you be there more? Will you be going back to Australia? I'm not sure what the picture looks like.
Yeah, possibly, man. Possibly that's all in the works. We'll see how things are. But honestly, like I'm starting to get my mind here. Um the world here is it's a big place, man, and Miami's it's full of yeah, I just feel comfortable here, I'll be honest with you. I feel comfortable here and
And you said
yeah,
something. Sorry, go on.
no, I just feel comfortable here and I'll see where things are at in the next couple of months.
And you said something really interesting about having fallen out of love with boxing. Can you just tell me a little bit about that? How you were feeling about boxing during that time, what that process was that came to you, losing your love for it.
Uh, I'd say I was just onto the next task, onto the next task, onto the next task, and I forgot why exactly why I was so in love with it. I never used to watch tape, and I never used to watch boxing. I used to be so maybe sort of turned off in my spare time. I'd want to just relax and not think about boxing. But yeah, now it's like that's it, man. Boxing is in my blood, and I've realized that it's part of my DNA. The love that I have for it, what it's done for me, what it's given me, the discipline, the life that I've always dreamt about. So I just embraced it, man. I've been watching old school tapes, watching old fights, and yeah, just really falling back into the process and the love back for it, and it's a good feeling to have that. And I think part of the reason for that was being again introduced to Pedro and his passion and love for the sport and how he never switches off and he's all in into this sport.
He was in a very big fight, particularly when he was working with Miguel Cotto against Floyd Mayweather. Is Cotto someone you had a particular admiration for?
Yeah, for sure. I grew up watching him. I grew up watching Miguel Cotto. He was one of my favorite fighters back in the days. So I saw I saw the changes that he made and um yeah, it's crazy the names that he's worked with. I think it was like 20, 20 or so world champions. I don't know how many Olympic gold medals. I forgot the exact number, but something crazy, man. And he's been there, done that with everyone in the sport, and he's still got this burning desire and the fact that he's taken me on and welcomed me a part of his family. Basically that's how it's happened. And it's just a good feeling to have that.
What was like
Sorry,
some of
go
those
ahead.
first conversations with Pedro, like talk about your past fights and things like that, and what has he
Yeah.
added?
Um, we do a lot of training, man, I'll be honest with you, but everything's very strategic. He's got this handbook and he reads and he plans it all out and everything's structured, it's crazy, man. Honestly, this guy is a genius. His energy levels are insane. The bloke doesn't sleep. Um, and it's very like it comes back to me as well, when I feel that type of energy, it's unbelievable, and I'm doing stuff that I haven't done for such a long time, and yeah, it's just what was the question again? Sorry.
I suppose just what he's seen in your last couple of fights, and
Yeah, well,
uh,
he he came to me, he said, "Oh, I'm better than Fundora. I'm better than Fundora." It was just not the right tactics, and I think a lot of people can say that. But yeah, tactically prepare differently now. More strategic, I guess. Think more in there rather than just rely on my destructiveness, because I can only get you so far in this sport.
yeah. And what have you made? I suppose over the past sort of couple of weeks, Nikita's preparing for this fight with Michael Zerafa, obviously a long-time rival of yours. Seen you post a couple of things and crop out Michael's face and his name. What have you made of it so far?
In all honesty, man, I haven't really seen much of it. Honestly, I thought them two just being too nice to each other is a bit not down my path.
You have to send a message to Nikita and say, "Hey, we hate this guy."
Let them do whatever they want, man. I'm staying far away from it.
Tim, have you thought about your return home with Pedro and him being out here? And I think a fight night for you will be incredibly different to the surroundings that you're used to and the comforts that you had. I mean, even picturing him in your Rockdale gym and your normal team, like that sort of stuff's a complete change for you. Have you thought about that and how that'd sit with you?
I haven't really thought about it too much, but man, this honestly, Pedro is like family now. I know it's hasn't been a long time. Like we've been with each other for what, a month now, but he's honestly like he's just welcomed me with open arms, and the way him and his family have treated me, it's been unbelievable, man. So yeah, I can't wait. And I see how he is with his team, with his fighters. You know, he walks out. I was watching him and Miguel Cotto walk out. He's right by their side, you know, and he's a real, very loyal and true day one type guy. And he's more than welcome to come to my gym and be everywhere, you know. This guy's a part of my career now, and we're only going to the top, you know. So I'm going to welcome him the same way that he's welcomed me.
Does that mean some bright red Tim Tsyzu to tracksuits?
Yeah, something like that. Adidas. That's all he wears. He wears these red Adidas red tracky pants. But I told him we got to go with Everlast, brother.
If you were to fight by the end of the year, is that I guess you've tested him in the gym, but to test him on fight night, is that a hurdle, or I guess the last gate before you completely lock him in? I'm sure you have, but is that part of it? Or is it like, regardless of how you feel on the night, you'd still continue?
No, I feel what I feel. We connected straight away. Even like how he's in the corner, the type of instructions he makes and stuff like that. It's yeah, it's crazy the way he wraps hands and everything. It's just it's so it makes me be like a young kid again, you know. I'm watching someone who's at the very top of what he's done in his career, and I'm in that position now with him. So we got to get comfortable with each other, of course. I know that. But again, we're not in a rush. I think the world titles will definitely come, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Well, there is that footage. If you could maybe remember what he did say to you, where he's chatting to you. I think maybe if after running and he signals to a strap around the belt, does he obviously? Do you remember that conversation?
Yes.
Or what he said?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's always talking about belts. Belts. That's all he wants. That's his whole aim, purpose, goal is to just create belts and legacies and make the big fights and win the big fights. He's got a record of like, I think world professional, he's got like 110 fights that he's been in the corner with. And I think he's got like 17 losses or something like that. And this is like top level. Regan Diao, the heavyweight Shigayevs, of course, Miguel Cotto's, you know, these are the type of guys that he's been in the corner with, and that's the type of record that he's producing. So, you know, yeah, it's just about getting comfortable with him. I'm learning a bit of Spanish now.
Okay, you want to give us some or what?
Depends. What do you want?
Right, the freestyle.
Look, I'm more of trying to understand things rather than
order me a coffee.
No, I'm not down. I'm not that far.
Just finally from me, obviously with the new team, I mean, Jeff Fennick, we know he likes to keep opinions to himself. So how does he fit into the fold now you've secured Pedro Diaz?
Yeah, I've always been able to use Jeff to bounce things off, bounce ideas and ask for his opinion. Someone who's been there, done that, someone who's been at the very top level. In the sport of boxing in Australia, how many people can I say that have been at the very top? Jeff Fennick and Tszyu, you know. So they're the two people that I can rely on and count on.
Are you talking to your dad? Has he spoken to you about
David?
Pedro?
No, his WhatsApp is he's gone. So I don't know. I haven't spoken to Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just move on. Sasha or Masope, got a question?
Hey Tim, you spoke about not watching film until recently. When did that kind of change for you?
What's that? Sorry?
Watching tape or watching film study on your previous fights?
Yeah, what about it?
So you didn't watch it before. I'm wondering, when did you start? Like, what was the reason for that? You've started now, or
I've just
if it
started
was,
watching boxing in general.
and in terms of watching boxing in general, what is the kind of main thing that you're seeing that you weren't seeing before, or that you are taking into how you're training now?
Just watching more the technical side, more movement, um, how the fights how they used to be and play out. Just watching the little basics.
And in terms of assessing, where you are in your career right now and the timing of this move, just talk to me about Miami. Like, why Miami? What makes this environment so special for you?
My coach, Pedro, that's why. I feel comfortable with him, and it's a good vibe here. Weather's good. It's not dry like Las Vegas, so I'm pretty happy with that. But no, mainly because of my coach.
Yeah, just two questions from me. Firstly, Tim, in picking your next opponent, is it a joint effort with your matchmaker and Pedro, or is it purely matchmaker at this point?
No, it's a joint effort.
Okay, and the second one, do you think it's a little bit too early for Nikita to fight Michael Zerafa at this point in his career? 11 fights in, Michael's had 37 odd fights. I know you fought a former Commonwealth champion in your 12th fight. What do you think about that?
Possibly with the experience, but I think the biggest part is that Zerafa's kryptonite is southpaws, and Nikita's a southpaw.
Okay, and listen, Nikita said the other day that basically it all kicked off with him when Michael said some comments about your father during the 2021 fight that was supposed to be. I know you don't want to get involved in this, but in some way you are. Do you expect to have your name thrown around by Zerafa throughout this whole process?
Well, hasn't he done that his whole career?
Yeah, but it's coming up to January 16, big money on the line. How much do you think he'll use you, or do you think it's purely between him and Nikita at this point?
I don't know, man. I really don't give a fuck. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, no problem. That's
Yeah.
all from me.
Yeah.
Tim, can I just ask another couple of questions quickly, please? This is obviously, it's not just Pedro who's new to your team. There's been some other additions as well. I saw some quotes from Mike Altamura when he first started working with you, saying that the plan was for you to actually have a bit of a rest. So when you say you could fight before the end of the year, early next year, that's quite a big change. What is a change could you please explain that changed from potentially having a rest to now being quite keen to fight?
Well, I'm with my new coach, man. So I'm eager to show what I've been putting in.
And on that subject of changing your team again, can I ask how difficult those conversations were with your previous team? Because I mean, you mentioned your loyalty, etc. I can very much see that. I can't imagine that was very easy, having to break that news.
No, it was tough. It was tough because I was very loyal. But I needed changes. I needed something new in my life, and I've stuck by it. I appreciate what the guys did for me and how far we've reached together. But yeah, it's just a change that was needed for myself.
And lastly, on an unrelated subject, did you know Kerry Tszyu, the strength and conditioner who was working with Justice Hooney, who died this week?
No, I don't know.
Okay, not to worry. Thank you.
Righto, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks, Tim, for your time. And hopefully we are talking to you again soon.
Sweet. See you guys.
Thank
Gents,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.